Hello and welcome. You listen to the African Update. My name is Kindama. I'm your host of today's program. On this edition, we are going to give you information all the way from Mali. It's a sad story that's going on in Mali, where the soldier says Mali's president Ibrahim Boubacar Keita. That is very sad right now as we speak. The situation on the ground are really sad. The stories here says that Mali President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita has been arrested by mutinying soldier, as the government spokesperson confirmed. Prime Minister Bobo Cisse has also been arrested, despite earlier appeal for broadly dialogue. The apparent coup attempt in a West African nation began with the gunfire at a key military camp near the capital Bamako on Tuesday morning. In the city, young men set the government's own buildings on fire. The arrest of President Keita and his prime minister has sparked widespread international condemnation. It came hours after disgruntled junior officer detained commander and took control to the Kati camp about 15 kilometers from Bamako. Then unrest coincides with a call for more protest to demand the president resignation. That was a chance these soldiers took opportunity to overtake the country. They were planning to do this a couple of years ago, 2012, when the soldiers were demanding the governments to create a kind of law protect against the insurgency that was happening in that area. Due to the fact of the situation that was become bad for the soldier in that area. And on the other hand, the people were protesting because the president didn't want to run for the third time in power. And in that regard, people didn't want to see the president to run for the third term in power, as he already did twice. Then should be given time to the people, not Mr. President Ibrahim Keita. And this is one of the problems that we see recently, where president they want to continue in power due to the fact they think that is the only people that deserve to be leaders, or they deserve to be a president. We see in other countries where exactly happened almost the same. Recently, we saw in Sudan with Al Bashir, which also after the population came up together, and then they end up removing him from the office. And then we are seeing also the same situation that's going on in Ivory Coast. We hope we will not come to this situation, but to have a transition would be really good if the president comes along and do election and just go and do something else instead of be and just remain in power. Because some of the things, especially in this African country, French speaking country, this president, they want to remain in power because France are the ones who impose and are the ones who like to choose the president that can be in power. And when the population become very agitated, they don't want these people to come to remain in power, then what happen? They want the tent to come on the street. As a result, because the population really don't want to have this president that the France put in place, then if the population remove, so the France will become like oh no, our people that our men who put in power then was removed by the population. So I believe this is one of the thing that most of the leaders, they like to remain in power because the France is the one behind all this how to call it this resistance. These people should be there because it's there for our own interest. We don't want to put someone who is pro Malians or pro Africans. They want someone who is pro France. That's exactly what's the problem, and that is always these people or the France always corrupting the leaders. But anyway, continuing the stories, it is this coup was led by the Colonel Malik Diwa, a deputy head of the Kati camp, and the other Commander General Sadio Kamara. So this is the people that was behind of this. After taking over the camp, the Mutins marched on the capital. In the afternoon, they stormed Mr. Keita's residence and arrested the president and his prime minister, who were both there. The reason for the move is unclear, as is the number of soldiers taking part of the mutin. Some reports say it was fluid by the pay dispute. Kati camp was also the focus of the mutin in 2012 by soldiers angry at the inability for the senior commander to stop Hijaists and the Tuareg rebel taking control of the North Mali. This is also one of the things that is happening in Mali. On the north part, there is this group of Tuareg. The Tuareg is I will come in one day to tell you exactly about the Tuareg. Is a group of is a tribe that you find, in that area of Maghreb. We talk about Mali, Niger, and then was Gaddafi is from, Libya, all that area, and so they kind of have been invading Mali, and who's protecting some of these. This is what some people always say, that France always involved on creating this kind of rebels, giving them a weapon in order to for them to, how to call it, to benefit from this gold. Because as you remember, the wealthiest person on the planet centuries ago was, if you don't know, you have to go and figure it out. Mr. Musa, who was the wealthiest person on the planet, he was from Mali, and then Mali is a place where you find so much gold in there. So France have been kind of protecting the people or the government in that area. What he's doing is nothing than just creating more trouble than what it is in that area. So it's really sad to see exactly how these people have been doing in Africa, or especially in this African speaking country. We are talking about Mali. What began as a mutin appeared to have morphed into a coup. This will be welcomed by the huge number of protests who have been out on the street for a month, calling for President Keita to step down. Parallels will be drawn between this event and 2012, when the government mishandling to the rebellion led to another coup. So this kind of coups in that area is something that always kind of have been happening in that region. So the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres demanded the unconditional release of Mali's leaders and the immediate restoration of a continual order. The chairman of the African Union Commission, Moussa Faki Mahamat, said he condemns the arrest of President Keita and his prime minister. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, said the mutin comes at the time when, for several months now, ECOWAS has been taking initiatives and conducting meetings or mediation efforts with all the Malian parties. Exactly, that is what happened. Even the president, I think, the former president of Nigeria was there on this delegation in order to talk with Mr. Keita and the other opposition leaders in order to solve this situation. But the man was not in favor. Of course, he could not be in favor when someone is oppressing him to tell not accept. This I'm talking about France, who really didn't accept. And just listen what France have to say. In France, the former colonial power Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian condemned in strong terms this serious event, and he too urged soldiers to return to barrack. So he's in France, sending a message to the Malians that these people should go back to barracks, should be returning. So that is that how this been saying, that the arrogance of these people here. Earlier, the French embassy in Bamako posted a tweet strongly advising people to stay at home. France has troops in the West African state to fight Malian or militant Islamists. So that's what I said at the beginning, that France have got a strong presence in Mali, not because they really want to solve the problem in Mali, but their only interest in Mali is just one. They won't be there to exploit that part of the country. That France, who is always in Mali, in other African countries, speak French in order to take the money of those brothers, in order to take to France for a better life for people there, instead of people in that part of country in Mali. There are so many things that I really like to talk about Mali, but I will stay here, dear brothers and sisters. I hope the situation in Mali will come to a normal soon. We urge all the African leaders in order to come in together to start to solve these problems in a manner that will be able for the good for everybody, not for only for one person. Talking about the president, but for every single person who lives there. We don't want to be the same on the past, where leaders were selling the citizens to Europe in order to for these people to go and work on this part of the world, send them to America and all that places were selling as slaves. So we are creating this kind of revolution. We are trying to create this energy where the Africans will come together and resolve this problem. So I stay here, dear brothers and sisters. I think I talk too much, and I hope you guys understand. So any development will be in the Mali, I'll be able to let you know. So stay tuned, subscribe. Talk to you soon.